Hey, what's up, everybody? Kenny Lamons here with Medicare Millennials, the YouTube channel for Medicare agents. And I get a lot of questions from a lot of people about how when they're brand new or you're an aspiring agent, what's the first step you need to take and how do I go get a license? So I'm going to use Texas as an example, but it's fairly universal with some minor differences depending what state you're at. And the resources I'm going to give you you're going to be able to use for pretty much every state. So before I share my screen and actually show you a few things, let me just break down the basics of the process. Number one, you're going to choose somebody to do your online pre-licensing course through. I prefer Kaplan or Exam FX, and I'll show you both of those briefly. Once you've paid for that pre-licensing exam and completed it and passed it, then you'll schedule your exam at a testing center in your state. And usually you can do your fingerprinting at the same time. You need fingerprinting and take your exam. Might be 2 appointments. Usually it's all in one place. And then once you finish that, you can actually apply for your license in your state. And that is a life and health license that most of us are going to be going for. So let me just give you a few resources and show you kind of what that looks like. And if I don't answer all your questions, y'all reach out to me. So I'm going to share my screen here. Boom. Okay, so first of all, like I said, 2 of the easiest ways to do your pre-licensing is through Exam FX and through Kaplan. So let's use an example of purchasing a pre-licensing course through Exam FX first. So insurance courses. And then if you actually scroll down here, life and health is exactly what we want. And then you can see they start at $149.95. So the reason it says that, they have more expensive options if you wanted like a live online teacher, but the self-guided course in Texas is only $150. I think in most states it's only $150, which is about the industry average. So you just gotta expect to pay that. And the exam is not very difficult in my opinion. There's no need for most people to need a live coach. Save the money and just do the self-guided quizzes and practice exam. You should be ready to take your exam. So let's click over to Kaplan. They've got some really cool resources. That's why a lot of people use Kaplan and I like them. So if you just Google apply for Texas life and health license and scroll down, that's how I found this. But Kaplan actually gives you the state requirements, which is nice and helpful and useful. So let's run through that. We're going to skip the bull crap and just look at the big things. So this is in Texas. And again, it's fairly similar in most states. First thing you have to do is exactly what I said, complete a pre-licensing course. You can buy that through Kaplan, you can buy that through Exam FX. Once you have done your pre-licensing course and you've passed it, you can then go on to number 2, which is schedule and pass your state exam in person. And I'm pretty sure even with COVID, to the best of my knowledge, you still have to take the exam in person. If I'm wrong, then that's fine. Good for you for being able to do it online. In the state of Texas, it's almost, you have to go through Pearson VUE. And so you could just literally Google, life and health exam, Pearson VUE. If you go to Kaplan, this same website for your state, there might be a different exam provider for your state, but you're going to have some provider. They're going to have several regional and local offices that you can go in and schedule to take your exam. You have to schedule ahead of time. You can't just walk in. So make sure you go to that Pearson VUE website, click exactly which exam you're wanting to take. So in this case, it's life and health, and schedule it ahead of time. Now, they separate step 2 and step 3 here, which is schedule and pass your exam. Step 3, they say, is get fingerprinted. But here in Texas, fingerprinting is done by Morpho Trust, whatever that company is. And pretty much in my experience, all the Pearson VUE locations have a Morpho Trust location at the same place. So you can schedule both your fingerprinting and your exam at the same location on the same date, which is really convenient. Okay. If not, again, just do 2 separate appointments, because before you can actually get your license, you need to have done your pre-licensing, taken an in-person official exam, and have your fingerprinting done. Once those things are done and you pass the exam in person, it doesn't mean that they automatically means you're licensed. You've actually got to then apply for the license with that documentation. And it's all for pretty much every state. You're going to do that through NIPR.com. Okay. So let's say that your home state is Nebraska. You did your pre-licensing through Kaplan. You scheduled your fingerprinting and your in-person exam all in one day. You passed the exam, did your fingerprinting, got all your documentation. Then you would just go home and take all of that information to NIPR.com and submit it through that to officially apply for your insurance license. They're going to take the information you gave them plus some additional information, as well as do a background check on you. So if you have a felony, you might have to talk to your state to see if they're going to be okay with that or not. But for most people, something like a DUI or speeding tickets isn't going to stop you from getting your license. So that's NIPR.com, and conveniently NIPR.com is also, if you home state is Nebraska, but you also want to sell in Kansas, then you would, once you're licensed in a home state, you would also go to NIPR to apply for a non-resident license, and you don't have to take another test to do that. Okay, you just have to pay a fee and use NIPR to apply for a non-resident license in other states. Also remember that as a licensed agent of pretty much any line of insurance, you have to complete continuing education. You can do that through Kaplan. You can also do that through Exam FX right here. And a lot of people use NAPA. I mean, if you have NAPA E&O, which is a separate step of becoming a Medicare agent, they a lot of times will provide discounted or free continuing education for your NAPA E&O. So I don't want to get too lost in the weeds here, guys. That is the basics of this basic steps of applying for your life and health license to become a Medicare agent. If you guys have further questions, please leave a comment, email us with the email in our description, or go to our website, MedicareMillennials.com. And also follow us on Instagram. Medicare Millennials is all you have to search on Instagram to follow us. Thank you.